questions? They'd love a question. Thank you. Who's it to? Do you want to stand up? If you can make it because otherwise it's going to be a bit boring for the film, isn't it? It's just got the blank screen. Thank you. Thank you. Who is your question for? One or all?
So for generally, I suppose, my question is, did you find that you were asked to be involved in other projects or dragged into other pieces of work? And how did you deal with that situation? Or did you take that as an opportunity?
I found myself wanting to. If somebody said, could you do this? What do you think about this? I would go, and I would find myself becoming involved because it was interesting, because they wanted your opinion, they wanted some help, and it made it very varied. My supervisor did actually say to me at one point, I don't want you to do that, you're taking on too much. And he was very good at keeping us in check. And you get better at saying no, you really do, and passing the buck.
On to Sam.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, you do get pulled into, people will try and pull you into other projects, and as I said, modify your project. And I think you're identifying who your mentor is when you arrive there for your project is really useful, and going back to them and seeing if they think that it's within your capability to take that work on as well, and if it's actually going to be beneficial to your project. I think you do have to be a bit cutthroat and realise that if you do spread yourself too thin, you're at risk of not actually achieving anything. So I'd say, and just going back to the setting yourself the objective and perhaps looking back to see does that fit in here, I think would be useful.
I think I'd agree with what Sam was saying about sometimes you'll be quite interested to get involved with other projects, but actually it's better to do one or two things well than to half do about 10 different things. And even though you'll want to do other things because it's interesting, and it's quite nice to have people ask you to do something as well, you have to kind of resist that temptation a little bit, as well as what Sam said in her presentation, being a bit mindful of people's agendas, that you don't want to be dragged in one direction and end up the person that you're supposed to be working with might get a bit upset if you're going off doing something else as well.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I wonder, obviously, so it's that sort of project that's probably not a typical week, but hypothetically, what's an average week on iChurch fellowship look like? What did you do?
Up
You're
at
working
5, in the office by 6, home at 10.
A week, it would be filled with meetings for me, clinical visits, so we'd go to the DLECA sessions. DLECA sessions, we would need to be in clinic for 7:15. When I was doing the foot screening, I would be in clinic for 7, and I would stay through until 12 and then go to the office and do more. And some days you would just be in the office all day doing emails, project plans and other such things. Every single week.
Yeah, you're very much in control of your own time and your own project, and I think that's something that some fellows have struggled with initially, that suddenly you make a decision about when you go into the office, when you leave the office, and you make a decision about whether you go into the community, into the facilities, because people are so enthusiastic to have you there that you can actually get along, go to a lot of places. And I'd say that really take that opportunity to get involved and get into as many places as possible. I don't personally think it's that useful just to sit in front of a computer between 9 and 5 for the sake of it.
I think that's true, and I think to add to that, there's probably, whilst you're on 6 months is quite a long time, and within that there'll be peaks and troughs of how busy you are. And for me, at the beginning of the project, it was very much being in, so for me in theatres, I spent a lot of time in theatres towards the beginning, and then towards the end it was more a case of being, in the middle I was more designing projects and being in the office a bit more, and then in the end back seeing the results of what I'd done in the clinical area, so it really varies throughout the project.
That's great actually, thank you very much. I think we'll let you go now.